Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my Season 1, Episode 2 review of Love. So in this episode, basically we begin this episode, essentially, with Mickey basically sort of convincing Gus to walk with her like a couple blocks to her house so she can repay Gus for basically, paying for her cigarettes and her coffee. So while they're walking, we find out about basically what Gus wants in the future. Despite him basically being a Hollywood TV teacher, essentially for, the children of the show, he wants to, I think he wants to sort of be a writer for the show as well, if I remember correctly. He wants to pitch ideas. He also wants to make his own kind of film, erotica film. Not really a porn film, but like basically, it's kind of basically the old films that, Michael Douglas used to do, back in like the early 90s. And he makes it clear, though, that Michael Douglas, is kind of too old for him to be a star actor, so he's kind of bummed about that. We find out from Mickey that she's actually from New Jersey and that she recently moved to California 5 or 6 years ago. And same deal with Gus, essentially, except he moved, to California from South Dakota. So basically they go to Mickey's house, and that's where Gus meets Mickey's roommate. And Gus has to help Mickey's roommate basically bring her stuff in, including her big-ass drawer, because Mickey's too lazy, to do it, to help out her roommate, who asked her specifically to do it. So I believe Mickey finds out, essentially, that, she must have dropped her money, where her, her wallet, and so on, over at that weird church thing that her ex-boyfriend brought her to, like, the night before. So her and Gus drive up over there, and it turns out, it's like a rented place, and that there was some type of series being filmed there, like some type of murder series, essentially, which both Gus and Mickey got a laugh about, because the director was pissed off that they intervened while shooting. So while they're walking back, Mickey sort of tells Gus about her relationship history, especially her ex-boyfriend, saying that he was basically immature and a mama's boy and caused her nothing but trouble. And I believe they actually went in Mickey's car and they smoked weed. Now, if I'm trying to remember if this was Gus's first time or he rarely did it, but either way, that weed really got to him. And I believe at one point he tried to open the window, but she's like, no, we're going to hotbox this motherfucker. Like, no. Don't you dare open that window. You close that crap right back up. So the weed effects was really potent. So they go to a hamburger place. So while at the hamburger place, Gus opens up about his ex-girlfriend, and Mickey talks about basically what she said in the last episode about, the pain of her love, like the pain of her trying to open herself up to love and constantly getting burned over and over again. So I believe Gus actually, by an accident, gives Mickey the location where to drop him off. Because the weeds really get into him, and I believe he was actually at one point kind of knocked in the back seat trying to recover because he felt like vomiting and he was full of nausea. So when they get to his girlfriend's house, it was actually kind of a funny scene, because his girlfriend's like, who's this? And you're over here because you're trying to make me jealous. And we all know, since we're watchers, that this was actually just a brain fart, like he said. He wasn't trying to do this on purpose. It was just the weeds, so he just got confused, whatever. But his ex-girlfriend's not buying it. They have this big argument about why they broke up. She was saying that he was basically being fake nice, basically the same thing from the previous episode. And I believe at one point she said she didn't cheat on Gus, but she was saying that she was giving him hints that she was done with him, and he's like, well, what sense does that make to basically still be dating me if you want to end it to begin with? And she's like, because you are too nice, and by being too nice, that's very narcissistic, because I want to leave, but you just kept putting on that act. So it was just back and forth, and her logic was just utterly ridiculous to me. So Mickey's kind of watching this and really getting annoyed by, Gus's, narcissistic girlfriend. And I believe at one point she was like, yo, go in the house, I'm Gus's ex-girlfriend, and get all your stuff. So Mickey's like, you know what, I'll do it, just to spare the loud noises coming out of your mouth. So she gets the stuff, and her and Gus are going at it even further when she comes back, and I believe Gus's ex-girlfriend was actually about to say something that was going to be really hurtful, and Mickey interrupts, and she's like, listen, he can't hear this right now. He's not in the emotional state to hear it right now. So hold your tongue, grow up, and when the time's right, then you tell him the real reason. Because I think she was just doing that because, one, you could tell her and Gus have bonded over the last couple hours, you know. And besides, they opened up to each other. And it seems like with Mickey, she's the type of girl who doesn't like to open up much, you know. So, anyways, Gus's ex heeds her advice, and Gus leaves, you know, with Mickey. So, while they're driving to Gus's place, Gus mentions how he just thought love was all perfect. In a way, kind of similar to Mickey's speech from the early episode. He's like, it's all a lie, it's just a bunch of BS. These movies they try to spread this crappy message, it's a bunch of BS. Bull jive, BS, blah, 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 blah. It's not true. Love is, pain and misery. So he's literally throwing DVD after DVD out the window, you know, at this point. So basically near the end of the episode, we see Mickey and her roommate watching an old film. And I believe it was an old film that Gus actually recommended for her that starred John Candy and Eugene Levy. And the shooting for it actually took place in one of the places location they walked by on the way to Mickey's house. So I believe that's how the episode ended. And yeah, besides that, yeah, that's about it. If I missed anything, please guys, write some comments down below. This is Josh Vision. Adios.